Alright, before I jump into this intro, do you notice the fall vibes in the background? I couldn't get rid of the pineapples, but I thought I'd include a little pumpkin just to tap into my fall side here. I don't like cold weather. I'm a summer baby, but I'm still trying to be, you know, with the season. Anyways, hello my gorgeous, beautiful babes out there, and welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. But in today's video, it's just gonna be a chatty get ready with me, talking all about my vacation, where I've been, because it's been a week since I last filmed, and I'm just recreating this look right here that I did for ACL, which is a big festival here in Austin. So if you're interested in hearing all about my vacation and seeing how I got this look right here, then keep on watching. Alright, so I got you guys zoomed in, nice close and personal. I got the hair pulled back. I'm ready to go. I already did my skincare, and I'm just going to start slapping on the makeup on my face and let you guys know about how awesome my trip was to Europe. I did not really film in Europe. I started to, and then I just decided not to do any vlogging or any lookbooks because I didn't want to take away from the trip and the whole experience there. I felt like it would just distract me from really enjoying and embracing my surroundings and exploring, and it's a lot of work to vlog and then edit it, and I just decided not to. But let me just jump into my amazing trip. We started in Munich, and then we went from Munich to where do we go? Innsbruck, Austria. Then we went from Innsbruck, Austria to Genoa in Italy, as well as Rome, and that's ultimately where we ended and flew out of back to Austin. But in Munich, it was beautiful. It's super clean there. The people were relatively nice. The one thing I did notice is that a lot of them stare. I don't know if this is a thing or what it is, or maybe I cause them to stare at me, but I looked this up and I noticed that people will look at you and they don't turn away if you look back at them. It's like just normal. Like they'll have a full-on staring contest with you, and I just thought it was interesting because in the US, and I don't know about other countries, but it's typically considered rude to stare. So at first I was like, am I doing something weird? Do I look funny? Is it because I'm a tourist? I don't know. But when I looked up and saw that that was a common thing that people did there, and it's not like something they consider rude or out of place, so I was like, oh, okay. The first day we got there, we were super tired, but then the second day, and we had rented a car, and we decided to just kind of drive all over Munich, see like the major things there, like the Marienplatz. It's like a kind of courtyard where they have a lot of historical buildings. And then we went to a palace there. I think it's called Nymphenburg, something like that. I'm probably saying the name wrong, but we went into a palace there. It was beautiful. Then the next day after that, we went to the, I'm gonna get a little bit more coverage, went to the countryside. I guess it's called like Bavaria, which is right outside of Munich. It took us an hour and a half of driving because we wanted to see the famous castle that they had out there, which is called, I think, Neuschwanstein, and they have a couple other castles there. And I think the main castle is what, like, you know, Disney based their castle off of, and it was just breathtaking. Like the countryside is very, very nice, and it just looks right out of a postcard. It's like hills and greenery and trees and cows, and it was just so pretty to drive along that and just kind of see the countryside. It was beautiful. And then after that, our last day in Germany, we went to Oktoberfest, which was insane. It was such a memorable experience. I will not forget that ever. Like, that is a one in a lifetime thing that you have to do if you go to Germany. But so when we got there, it was like around 9. We decided to go early because we heard it gets crazy, insanely packed, and people just go in there, and a lot of people are there like when opening. That's what we were told, to go early. So we did, and we got to the outside gate part at 9 in the morning, and there was like crowds surrounding, waiting for that damn gate to open. I was so shocked at how many people were there that early to get into Oktoberfest, and all of them were in like the traditional garb, the lederhosen. It was so cool to see. So once they opened the thing right at 10 o'clock, I swear everyone in the crowd just started running in, and we're like, what the hell, why are they running? So we started running because we're like, there's a reason why they're running. We need to, you know, keep up with the crowd. And we're running. It was so funny. And when we finally got into one of the tents, there's like several tents to sit in, and they have tables and all that. And I guess the reason why they were running was to score a table. So now you can reserve a table. Oh, I got to sneeze. Oh God, I hate the way I sneeze. But you can reserve a table in advance. It is pricey, but to go into Oktoberfest is free. So it is like a big deal to be able to get a table, because from what I was told there, they will not serve you if you're not at a table. Like there's servers that have specific sections, and they will serve only the people at the tables. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I was told by people there. And it was crazy because our table ended up being all English speaking. Now they do speak English in Germany, but I was expecting to be at a table with like mainly Germans. I don't know why I was thinking that. Maybe Germans in the area like avoid Oktoberfest because it just brings in so much people and it's so crowded. But I ended up being at a table with all English speaking people from all over the place. I had 2 girls on the table that were from New York, 2 guys that were from Chicago. There was people from Australia, and then a big group from the UK, and in the mix they had some guy from Austria and a guy from France, and we're like all speaking English. Like, and this was crazy. And someone told me that, I can't remember who told me, that they said this tent was more international, so you'll see people from a lot of different areas, and it's not predominantly German. But we drank so much, and they play the music, and when a certain music tune comes on, everybody like toasts and like chugs their drink, and they play it like throughout the whole event. And there's a lot of toasting and a lot of like chugging, and I definitely drank too much. I think I had like, they serve you the liters there, and they said that in Oktoberfest, like they serve in total like up to 21 million liters of beer during those festivals, and literally have like a beer channel that goes straight to the festival location. And Casey, I think, ended up drinking like 4 or 5 beers, and he was trash. I was trash. After like some time in, I was like, we gotta go. And like the people at our table was like, no, don't leave. You gotta stay. What are you doing? And I swear if I stayed, I probably ended up in the hospital with alcohol poisoning. But I did definitely feel it the next day, and Casey sure did, because he was not doing too well. After that, we got on the train, and we didn't have to get on the train too early because we couldn't check in to our Airbnb until 3 in the next town that we were going to. So we had some time to kind of sleep in, because then we had to check out by 11. So thank God, because if we had to leave really early, we wouldn't have made the train, because it was a struggle to get Casey out of the bed. But we got on the Eurail. We did buy passes in advance, which were pretty pricey. And then another thing I learned is that like a lot of the trains, you have to book reservations if they're like a super popular line. Went to Austria next, and it stayed in this like little town that's right on at the base of the Alps, and it was so beautiful. It's kind of like a ski town is what I was told, and they do have a college there, and there's a lot of college students as well. And it was very, very, very beautiful, very clean, and they also speak German there. And we only had 2 days to spend there, and then we also stayed in a hotel there that was super old. I think it was like in the 1800s when that building was built. Like all the buildings are pretty much old. I mean, what I noticed in Europe, like their history goes so much farther back than America. So the time that we did spend in Austria was very useful. We did a lot there. Like our first day after getting in there, because we were tired, we just literally ate and went to sleep. we walked around the city, but we did take the cable cars up into the Alps, and that was definitely worth the money. It was so beautiful, and it takes you up on this train that literally almost goes pretty much vertical up the hill, and then once you get to one point you have to take the cable cars to take you even further up the mountain, and you're like literally dangling from a cable in this cart. And Casey's like so afraid of heights. I'm so shocked that he even like did it with me. Today we had to get up at 3 in the morning to catch the train again and go to our next city. So we went to Genoa, Italy after that, and it's like a little port city in Italy, and it's just not one of the more like popular places or super touristy places to go, and that's why I ended up picking that city, because I didn't want to go anywhere where it was like super touristy and felt like it was gonna end up causing like prices to be high because it's a mainly tourist area. So Genoa is just like a really charming little port city, and I felt more like amongst the locals there. And while we were there in Genoa, we did take time to explore the city, go into some of the historical buildings. It is a very old port city, so I think it's one of the older cities in Italy. We did end up taking like the train along the coastline of Italy. Breathtaking, so gorgeous. If you're gonna go to Italy, you need to make time to go on the coastline of Italy because it's so beautiful. The water is just so like a dark blue, and it was just so pretty seeing that. Like the train ride itself was beautiful, just seeing the scenery as we passed these little towns all along the coast. The stop was Santa Margherita, which we butchered that name, but it's like a little beach town, and a lot of, you know, people stay there as well. It was so pretty. I went to the beach over there, but the main reason we ended up stopping in that city was there's a boat that takes you to Portofino, and that is like on the map for a highly tourist area. Like it is like top 10 places to go in Italy. I think Portofino is on that list. It was gorgeous, but it's really small. It's like a really small port, and I don't know, like the pictures always make things seem bigger than what they are. But it was small, and it's like all up on like cliff sides, and like the restaurants and hotels just, you gotta walk upstairs, and it was so damn expensive. I'm just like, well, wealthy people must live here and wealthy tourists must come here, because the prices were no joke. Like we went to this restaurant and I felt like the portions were so small, and I think we got 2 entrees, dessert, and like 1 drink. And we ended up spending like over like 80 euros for that lunch, and I was hungry still afterwards. That's the worst, when you spend a lot of money and then you're hungry after your meal. But I don't think I would have ever wanted to stay there, because it just really, oh my god, do you guys see that? This is new to my collection. I honestly picked this up. This is the Hades highlighter from ColourPop, all because of and Jessica, I think that's how you say her name. I'm like a huge fan of her channel, and she always uses this highlighter and talks about it. So I ended up picking it up, and now I see why she loves this. It is so pretty. In love. Oh, it gives such a beautiful glow. I love peachy glows, and this does have like a peachy pinky-ness to it. But we were there for a couple days, maybe 2 or 3 days, and then we took the train again and ended our trip in Rome, because that was just on my boyfriend's bucket list as somewhere he's always wanted to go. And there's so much history there, and it is so beautiful. There's so much history, and the buildings are like so old and ancient, and you know, they got the Colosseum, the Palatine Hill, they have the Roman Forum, like the original like ruins of the original city there. They have so much to see. Like you have to spend a good amount of time in Rome to even get to see half of the things that they have there. And I feel like we didn't plan very well like the trip, because we kind of just winged it, and there was a lot of things we ended up missing, which is bad on our part, because I'm not really good at planning. I'm just more of like a spontaneous person, just kind of go with the wind. And honestly, I wish I had planned, at least for Rome, out of all of them, better, because I didn't realize how much there is to see there and look at. And I feel like we missed or didn't use our time as well, where we could have seen more. Because we did go to the Vatican, which we didn't grasp how much time it takes to get through the Vatican and how much time it takes to get in the Vatican. And it ended up taking like 2 hours to get into the building, and then it takes like almost pretty much 2 hours to get through it. So pretty much our whole day, because we went in the afternoon, was taken up just seeing the Vatican. And I think if we planned it better, we would have done it earlier, so then we would have had time to see other things. Okay, I just wanted to work on my blend, so I got off camera a little bit. But hey, it's probably not perfect, but we're not here to be perfect, are we? We're just here to be real up in this bitch. But I will, when I get a chance, tell you guys what shadows I used in my eyes. But yeah, Rome is just amazing. There's so much history. The one thing I'm gonna say is that it's really dirty there. Like, there is so much trash like on the streets, and like you can smell piss and everywhere you go. But I mean, I guess like that's typical for big cities, and Rome is a very big city. And so when you put a lot of people in a small space, there's bound to be a lot of trash and stuff. So I guess I wasn't prepared. Like I was like, oh man, Germany's clean, Austria's clean. Like, I guess you get this like picture that like all of Europe is like that. Or when you see photos of Europe, like of Rome, you don't see like the dirty sides of it and how much trash is on the streets. And there's just so much trash everywhere. But anyways, yeah, that was pretty much it for what we did on the trip. I've learned so much about like different countries and how different things are from the US. When we went there, we noticed that they don't really give tap water at restaurants. You always have to pay for water, and they usually give you bottled water. And typically, or a lot of the times, it will be sparkling water. They don't really do still water. You can get non-sparkle water, but the normal thing to drink there is sparkling, which something new for me. Like, you can't just go and get tap water anywhere. You're going to pay, and if you ask for tap water, they're gonna look at you funny. Another thing I did notice is a lot of places require you to pay to use the restroom, and you can't just walk up in there. And it was like €1. Some places were just like 50-cent euros. But for someone who has an overactive bladder, that is just not a good thing, because then you end up spending a whole rack of money just using the bathroom everywhere you go. So that was something I wasn't expecting. Another thing is a lot of the bathrooms don't have a seat, like a toilet seat on it. It's just like the bowl. You're gonna sit on the straight bowl. There is no rim seat to hold you up from touching the toilet bowl. But besides that, it was amazing. Had an amazing time. Me and Casey had so much fun. I'm gonna use my finger to do this. And honestly, I can't wait to go back and explore more. There's so much to see. But when the trip did come to an end, I was so happy to come back. Like, when you're away from home for a long period of time, you appreciate more what you have and the comforts and luxuries that you're used to. Because I struggled towards the end of those 2 weeks. I was so ready to go home and be back in my own bed with my own stuff, and you know, around things that I'm used to and comfortable with. Because now I really know what it feels like, or understand what it feels like to be in a country where you don't know the language, and it feels so surreal, and you feel so alone almost, because people are around you and you can't understand what anyone's saying, and trying to communicate with people at restaurants or anywhere you go, you just feel like a foreigner. Like, and I'm not used to feeling that way, because usually, you know, I haven't traveled a lot out of the country And the places that I have gone to definitely catered to the tourists, and pretty much a lot of the people working at like the area spoke English. So going here to especially Italy, I did feel like a foreigner and out of place and intimidated. So I get it now how like foreigners or people from other countries feel when they come to the US and they don't speak English, and I have more of an understanding now that I've experienced myself. Right, so I'm gonna go line my eyes, do my lash line, my eyeliner and my brows off camera, because you don't want to see that struggle. It is real and it's not pretty. So I'll be right back. All right, so I decided to do my brows, my mascara, liner, lips all off camera, because I just figured that is not something exciting to watch one do, at least for me. And the struggle is real whenever I'm doing any of those steps. So I didn't want you guys to see me struggling and have to bear through that because it was rough. Anyways, so what I did go and do is put the Ofra liquid lipstick in Verona. This is one of their like older, well, this is their older packaging, so I've had this for some time. I did go in with the mascara from L'Oreal, the Lash Paradise. Just recently tried this mascara and I'm in love. So in love. I don't know why I didn't try this sooner, but I did also pick up the primer. So that's what I did on my lashes. I did run this Essence gel eye pencil, kind of close to the lash line on the top, kind of smudged it in, and then I went in with the green eyeliner from ColourPop, cut teaspoon and the waterline. So nothing exciting. I want to show you guys too what shadows I did end up using from the palette. I did go in with this kind of mustardy shade in the crease, as well as this one. I started with that and then I worked this in. And then I used this on the outer corner to deepen it up and kind of go a little bit into the crease. And then I used this beautiful like green goldy shade that has a little bit of like turquoise shimmer in it. I used that pretty much in the inner part of the lid. I used this on the outer edge as well, the shimmery turquoise color, as well as I kind of popped this on right here. This one kind of in the center part to add a little bit extra shimmer and dimension to the eyes. But those are the shades I used in the palette. I think it's gorgeous. I love this look. I think the earrings, everything goes really well together. I will also link where I got these earrings from in the description, and I will pretty much link everything that I used on my face today in this little Chatty Get Ready With Me. Hope you guys enjoyed hearing about my trip and the pictures that I did include. I just wanted to kind of talk, update you guys, just do something a little bit more casual to jump back into filming, because I haven't filmed in, I don't know, like 3 weeks, and life was hectic right after I got back from my trip. So exhausted, jet lagged, trying to kind of get back to myself and get used to like the time and just get back into a normal flow. So I didn't film. That's pretty much my excuses, okay? Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this look, this video. If you haven't checked out my other social media platforms, I have them all linked below. I'd love to have you join over there as well, especially my Instagram. That's where I post the most, more about my life and lifestyle, and it's more personable. It's not just about like makeup and fashion. It's just my life and the things I am up to. So check me out on Instagram and all that good stuff. Leave your comments, questions if you have any in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoy these kind of videos, and till next time, bye guys.